Hey y'all, and welcome to another edition of Weekly WIP Wednesday. So today is February 27th, and since it is close to the last day of the month and the last day for several cals, we are going to go ahead and finish up stuff. Now, the main one that we are finishing stuff up for is the Geeky Girls Knits podcast, which has it's basically quarter-ish cal, which is things started and finished in that month. And this cal started in December, which is why I say quarter-ish, because it starts a month offset of the quarter. So yeah, we have all the things that we've started this year that we want to get done, between today and tomorrow, so that we can enter in those. So what I am doing here is I got to the finishing steps for my cowl, for my honeycomb cowl. I worked on this a lot at the retreat, and I got lots of compliments on it from other knitters, since this is one of the first projects I've done. What is this, project 4 or 5? Probably 5 or 6. But anyways, since I try to only do one actually new thing each time, I did not do the actual cast on that this required, which would have left me with these live stitches. So I'm reattaching my end and going ahead and picking up the stitches to do what it wanted to do was a Kitchener stitch. So that was what I was going to do as my new thing for this project. So we are picking up our stitches, and what I will be doing is a knitted on Kitchener instead of the sewed Kitchener, which I guess I didn't realize that you could do that. So I was looking up videos on Kitchener stitch last night, and I saw the knitted on, so I think we're just going to try the knitted on so I don't have to deal with, I think my tension might be better. We'll see. This is all just practice at this point. So yeah, I'm going to try and show you how I'm picking up stitches here. I'm going to hold the camera with my chin, see if this will work. But basically, this is just a junk hook that came from something. I think it was in a pile of stuff one of my friends got from people cleaning out an apartment. All I'm going to do is, I think that this is a stitch, and so we're just going to put it in there and then pull up our loop like we were crocheting. I don't know how much of this is actually going to show up. And put it on our needle. So yeah, I just gotta finish this. I've got 19 now stitches out of 48. So yeah, we'll just keep on working that until we get to the part 2 Kitchener. Okay guys, I have started Kitchenering, but as usual, the videos weren't descriptive enough of how to get started, so I am actually doing it on the wrong side of my work. So I have the seam, which is what you're supposed to avoid by having the Kitchener on I assume this is supposed to be the outside of my work, but you know what, it's our first one. We're not really gonna care. So I did start off by doing the needle bind off, but I found that it was a lot of since you have to hold your string still, it was a lot of extra work. So then I went back to the needle bind off, which is where you just get your sewing needle and use that, and basically it's the exact same thing except backwards. So to do the knitted bind off, which is what I did first, which I don't know if you can even tell any difference, you start with a purl and you slide off and then knit, and then you go up to the top and you knit, slide off, and do a purl. So your stitches are always like knit, and then you go up and knit, and then purl, and you go down and purl. It would just be up and down would be the same. So you're just alternating. But when you do it sewing wise, you knit first because all it's doing is how you're pulling the string through. So when you're using the knitting needle, you're pulling it through the opposite way or whatever. It makes sense in my head, guys, I promise. But yeah, so basically I found it's actually easier to do the sewing version versus the needle version just because of having to hold the string and having to regather that each time, where if I have the sewing needle, I just have to hold it onto that needle, or hold, you know, the sewing needle. I don't have to regather everything every time. So like this section probably took me 5 minutes, a good 5 minutes to do just a couple stitches, and then I've done all this in like 2 minutes. So it took me a lot less time to do the sewing version. But yeah, so I kind of, sort of, know how to do the Kitchener. It's just on the wrong side of my work because I want the lump or whatever on the side with all my garter bumps or whatever. It's in the stockinette, but if you knit, you know, all your little bumps go on one side and then your straight lines basically are on the other side. So I would have liked those to be reversed, but as things are always visual, they don't tell you which side is going to have the bar go across it. So yeah, didn't realize that, but we'll know for next time. We'll check in with you guys later. And now to the next work in progress. So you guys have seen this before. It's the miso coaster that I've been working on, also by Cello Knits, which is who the honeycomb cowl was by. And this of course is my crochet project that I'm supposed to felt, but for the goal of getting things done by the end of the month, we're just going to try to finish this off. Now I only have like 2 rows left of this to crochet, so let's hope that I can get that done today. So it's currently nap time, so I am child free at the moment, so yep, we're going to hope to finish this off today too. Okay guys, checking back in on my miso coaster, and I'm afraid I might lose yarn chicken here. I have this much left, and I have only from here to about here to finish, but that's gonna be cutting it close, so wish me luck. Okay guys, just one more popcorn to go. I think I'm going to win this round of yarn chicken. You'll have to watch the podcast to find out, since once I finish that, it won't be a WIP anymore.